Welcome back to Financial Market Insights for Traders. I'm Sophia, and today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most innovative blockchain projects in the crypto space, Polkadot, and where its native token, DOT, could be headed in 2025 and beyond. Now, with everything going on in global markets, shifting regulatory winds, the aftermath of the recent Fed rate decisions, and renewed interest in decentralized infrastructure, it's a fitting time to examine where Polkadot stands. Is DOT poised for a breakout, or could it be overshadowed by emerging competitors and a cautious macro backdrop? Let's dig in. First, if you're new to Polkadot or just need a quick refresher, here's the short version. Polkadot was created to solve one of blockchain's biggest limitations, interoperability. Most blockchains operate in silos, unable to communicate with each other. Polkadot changes that with its relay chain and parachain structure. Think of it like the central nervous system for a decentralized internet. The relay chain is the core, maintaining consensus and security, while parachains are independent blockchains that run in parallel, all connected to that core. This architecture gives Polkadot some key advantages. It's scalable, it's secure, and it's governed by the community. DOT holders actually have a say in upgrades and governance decisions, something many blockchain projects only talk about but never really implement effectively. Over the past few years, Polkadot has been quietly building. It didn't make the same kind of headlines as Solana or Ethereum during the bull run, but it's been steadily growing its ecosystem. And now in 2025, we're starting to see the real impact. Let's rewind just a bit to get some context on DOT's price performance. When DOT first launched in 2020, it came in at around $3. Then came 2021. Bitcoin hit $69,000, Ethereum reached new highs, and DOT rode the wave, peaking at around $55 in November of that year. It was flying high. But like most altcoins, DOT couldn't escape the crypto winter of 2022 and 2023. Between regulatory crackdowns in the US, tightening monetary policy from the Fed, and a series of black swan events, remember the DeFi exploits and the centralized exchange bankruptcies? Confidence in the market took a hit. DOT dropped below $10 and stayed suppressed for quite a while. Fast forward to 2024 and early 2025, and we're seeing some recovery. Bitcoin's recent halving in February reignited market optimism, and Polkadot has been part of that rebound. As of this recording, DOT is trading in the low $20 range, with some analysts suggesting it could be gearing up for a breakout. So, what's driving that optimism? One major factor is ecosystem expansion. Over the past year, we've seen a surge in development on Polkadot. More parachains are going live, with projects focused on everything from decentralized identity to gaming and enterprise solutions. There's also growing interest in DePIN, that's decentralized physical infrastructure networks, and Polkadot is positioning itself as a major player in that space. Think of applications like decentralized wireless or energy grids. These are big picture use cases, and they need infrastructure like Polkadot to function. There's also the success of OpenGov, Polkadot's upgraded governance system. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, where changes are often made by a small group of developers, Polkadot lets DOT holders vote directly on protocol upgrades. It's a bold move, but it's also made the network more adaptive and responsive. And of course, we can't ignore institutional attention. While Ethereum remains the darling of institutions, DOT is increasingly showing up in crypto-focused investment funds. That includes exposure through ETFs in Europe and Asia, especially now that more regulators have greenlit crypto-linked products for retail and institutional investors alike. Now let's talk about price scenarios for 2025. In a bullish case where Bitcoin continues its post-halving run, global regulations favor blockchain growth, and Polkadot keeps shipping meaningful upgrades, DOT could realistically revisit the $50 to $75 range. That would require strong inflows, higher parachain demand, and more integration with real-world use cases. In a more neutral scenario, let's say the market stays steady but cautious. Maybe Ethereum 2.0 solidifies its dominance, but Polkadot keeps its niche. In that case, DOT could hover between $20 and $35 through the end of 2025. And then there's the bearish case. If we get more geopolitical shocks, like continued tension over Taiwan, increased crypto regulation in the US following last month's SEC enforcement blitz, or just another risk off sentiment in markets, DOT could struggle. It might fall back into the $10 or lower range, especially if investors rotate into more established assets like BTC or ETH. So, what about the long game? Beyond 2025? Well, if Polkadot can maintain its technological edge, if it continues to attract developers, and if it stays relevant in the Web3 conversation, it could easily be one of the leading networks by the time we hit 2030. Interoperability is only going to become more important as different chains evolve. Nobody wants to be locked into a single ecosystem, and that plays directly to Polkadot's strength. But there are challenges too. Ethereum's dominance isn't going away, and other competitors like Cosmos, Avalanche, and even newer entrants like Celestia are also building toward modular, scalable architectures. Polkadot has to keep innovating to stay ahead. There's also the question of user experience. For Polkadot to go truly mainstream, it needs to simplify the on-ramping process for developers and users alike. That's something we've seen Solana do well. Despite its technical issues, it's very user-friendly. Polkadot still has some catching up to do on that front. Now, for those of you wondering if Polkadot is worth investing in or trading in 2025, here's the balanced view. Pros: it's got a strong foundation, unique architecture, real use cases, and a community that's deeply committed to decentralization. DOT is one of the few assets that combines technical depth with governance innovation. Risks: it's still very much a high beta asset. It moves with the broader crypto market. It's exposed to regulatory shifts, and it's in a competitive space where innovation happens fast. So if you're holding DOT or looking to get in, make sure you're also keeping a close eye on macroeconomic trends, central bank policy, and regulatory headlines. Diversify your exposure, manage your risk, and as always, do your homework. And if you're looking to trade DOT without the friction of high fees or clunky platforms, crystalballmarkets.com offers crypto CFDs with some of the lowest fees in the industry. You can go long or short on DOT, trade with leverage, and do it all on a secure, intuitive platform. It's a solid choice whether you're just dipping your toes into DOT or actively trading crypto assets. That's it for this episode. Whether Polkadot will soar or stumble in 2025 remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. It's a project worth watching, and one that continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in the blockchain space. Thanks for listening to Financial Market Insights for Traders. I'm Sophia. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode, and drop us a message with your thoughts. Where do you see DOT going next? Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and trade smart.